Hi, Natural Beauty. Welcome back to another video. Hi, hello, my Natural Beauty little girls. In this video, we're going to be doing my baby girl sugar hair. And this style is going to be the Jayden Wayda style. So I'm going to be showing you step by step. We're going to do the braids in the front and curly hair in the back. Also, I will be showing y'all step by step how I shampoo and condition sugar hair. Therefore, you can do the same for your child or your client. So stay tuned.
Ready, set, go! No. No. Naturally beauty, naturally you. You've been so blessed to be naturally you. Naturally beauty, naturally you. You've been so blessed to be naturally you. Naturally beauty, naturally you. You've been so blessed to be naturally you. Naturally beauty, naturally you. You've been so blessed to be naturally you. You've been so blessed to be naturally you.
Okay, Natural Beauty, so we're going to start off with shampoo and sugar hair. We're going to be using the Wayda Berry 4-in-1. And we're also going to be using this conditioner by Fro Baby Hair. Now, the Wayda Berry 4-in-1, it's a shampoo and a conditioner in one. So if you want to, you can just use that by itself. It was time for sugar to get a deep conditioner. So I decided also to go on to the next step and just add that extra moisture with that conditioner so she can get her deep conditioner as well, y'all. Also, I want to say this, just like when you're, doing your hair or you're going to get your hair done, you want to kind of treat your child hair the same way. Or if you're a hairstylist and you got a child client, a lot of things you want to treat it as healthy in the way you would want your own healthy hair to be. So yes, the conditioner is something that you should be doing on your child's hair. So right now I am applying the Wayda, and as you can see, I'm using my fingers, and I am pulling from the ends, and then I'm working my way up to her roots, excuse me. And your hands is where you want to start, y'all. And then you want to grab the detangling brush once you feel like your hand is doing most of the work. Your hand is going to be a big help, y'all. Especially when you're doing a kid's hair, you want to be very gentle. You don't want to just start off and start pulling, tugging, So as I, apply the shampoo, I start from there. Some people, they do wait until the conditioner and then they go in and kind of detangle, through the hair and trying to make sure the conditioner ain't good. But y'all, I recommend you start from the beginning. When you wet that hair, you add in shampoo, you want to begin to whirl your fingers through from the ends all the way up to the roots, y'all. Then you want to go back with that detangling brush or comb, and you want to start also at the ends, work your way up to your roots. Y'all, when you first start with the shampoo and you wetting your hair, you want to make sure you are using warm water. Warm water is going to open up your cuticles, open up your scalp. Therefore, when you add in your shampoo, your conditioner, your oil, all that moisture will be able to get inside the roots, y'all. So now we're going to move over with doing her deep conditioner, y'all. And like I said, this is by Fro Hair Babies. And you can find this at your local beauty supply store, just like you can find the Wayda. And also Sally sell this both of these brands as well. So I'm just adding the conditioner, and once again I am going through with my detangling brush. And then I'm going to add a bag, and she's going to sit with the conditioner on for like 30 minutes. Then we're going to come back. Now when you come back to rinse out the conditioner, you want to use cool water. Cool water is going to close that cuticle. You don't want to leave it open, because if you do, all that moisture you just added in is gonna fly away out, y'all. So make sure you rinse your hair out with your conditioner with cool water. Now let's move on with the blow dryer. We are using the iron blowout spray, and then I'm also gonna add Sim as well, y'all. So I like to add both of them just to make sure, you know, not just my child, but my clients. I make sure their hair is very, very protected from getting any heat damage, y'all. So I do add spray and Sim. And then we're just gonna move on with a quick blowout. I'm gonna be using a round brush. And I believe I got this brush from TikTok. Somebody sent it to me. It works pretty good, y'all. Especially when you're doing it at home, you know. But then it works good if you was a professional as well, y'all. But I would prefer just when you're doing it at home, it works so good, y'all. And I will, if I can remember the link, I will put it down in the description box. If I forget, because y'all know I have migraines and it causes me to forget things, then just comment below and be like, Pam, you know, can you send me the link, you know, about the brush and the other products that I use in this video, y'all. And I'll be sure to do it, y'all. So yeah, so we just gonna continue to blow out her hair all over. And then after that, we'll proceed on with getting prepped for the style, y'all, which will be the braids in the front and the curly hair in the back, which is the Jayden Wayda style. I call this Jayden Wayda style for kids, or either Jayden Wayda style for little girls. So I part her hair in 2 sections, from ear to ear, right in the middle. Now, if you want your braids a little further down, you can do that. If you want them a little further high, you can do that too. So I kind of stayed in the middle of her hair, and then I parted from ear to ear. So now I'm parting a section out on the side where I'm going to begin my first braid. And I am using the All Day Lock braiding gel. And in this video, it will short. So, and also, like I said, I will try to leave all the products and tools and things I use down in the description box. And if I forget, just ask and I will do it. But I will try to remember, y'all. So what I do, I take the braiding gel, and you can use any braiding gel you want. This is just what works best for me, on me, my girls, and my clients. And it works good, y'all. About 80% of my clients are natural. So also I'm going to be adding some braiding hair. So I'm going to use the Little Lights by Expression. And this is optional. You do not have to add any braided hair. You can braid your own child natural hair. I choose to use braiding hair. And I don't use that much, y'all. I use a very thin piece. I'm not even going to use the whole pack. I'm not going to even use half a pack, y'all. You will see exactly how much hair I'm actually using, y'all. But sugar hair tends to curl up real easy, no matter how good I blow it out, no matter how good I press it out. Her hair will not stay straight for long. Her curly hair is coming back. So I do add the braiding hair to her own hair just to help her hair stay intact, so it won't get so frizzy and curly within 2 days, y'all, because her hair will actually do that, y'all. But yeah, so I'm just gonna continue to braid her hair, y'all. Now what I do is I take that small script, and before the small little script of hair, and before I add it to her hair, I do start out braiding her own hair. And I take 3 pieces of hair and I go from left to right, crossing my fingers back and forth, y'all. And I'm mainly using my thumb, my index finger, and my middle finger. Now, Sugar is tender-headed, y'all. I'm not braiding her hair that tight, and I don't braid any of my clients' hair tight. But you want to make sure it's nice and tight, but you don't want to make it to the point where it's hurting. Now, when you're doing the child hair, I know me personally, I can go as light as I want to, but some clients, even my baby Sugar, some of my clients, my kids' clients, no matter how light and gentle I am with the braids, they still, if they feel just a little bit of tag or pain or something, they gonna act like, you know what I'm saying? So just be mindful of that. And in this video, you will see she can do a little movement. She might shed a little tears, but that's all about doing kids' hair. If you're a kid stylist, then you know what I'm talking about. And so all of my kids' clients are not like that. It's just a few handful. No matter how gentle you can be, they will still claim you killing them when you are braiding their hair, y'all. But we just gonna continue to braid the front of her hair. So right now I'm doing 2 braids on the side going straight back. So once I'm done with that side, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So I'm going like back and forth for each side to each side. Therefore, it can line up right and look straight and neat, y'all. So like I said, and I'm pulling a little bit of her edges out so I can do some little baby slicker little edges down, y'all. And when I mean baby edges, I mean baby edges, y'all, not the front of your whole perimeter or your headline. But like I said, I started off braiding her own hair, and then I'm going to add the braiding hair. And like you can see, I'm only using thin strips. Like I said, I'm going back and forth, left to right, and then I make sure I split the braiding hair into 3 sections, and I'm grabbing a section of hair as I go left and right. I'm just going to continue to do this, and I'm going to, like I said, put 2 more braids on the other side of her hair. Okay, naturally, so we done made it to the other side. As you can see, I had completed the 2 braids on the opposite side, just as you seen me do on the other side. So now we are going to have fun with this middle section. So instead of doing straight back braids, I'm going to start doing curl braid, like braids going into a curl shape. So what you're going to do is you're going to start off with parting the hair itself into the shape, like if you was doing like a curl shape, a zigzag shape, crisscross shape, a heart shape, a star shape, flower, whichever design shape you are trying to do. That's the way you want to make sure your parting is. If the parting ain't right, it's going to look crooked. It's not going to look straight. No matter if you are doing zigzags or a curl part, you want to have the curl part straight, a straight curl part, so it can look nice. You don't want to look like, oh, it's just a messy old design and it don't look right. You want the part to be nice and crisp and clean, y'all. So I'm actually parting that section in half into a curl part. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to take one side of one section and I'm going to start to part smaller, thin section into a curl parting. And then I'm going to braid into a curl braid, y'all. Okay, Natural Beauty, so the way that I did the curl part in shape, I'm going to do that from left to right. So I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to move over to the other section. And I'm going to curl that so they can kind of blend in and come together in the middle, y'all. So I'm going to braid it the same way as I demonstrated earlier. Take 3 pieces of hair and just braid it left and right, grabbing hair as you go. Mainly using your index, your thumb, and your middle finger. Like I said, you don't have to add braiding hair. This is optional. But I start braiding the real hair first, the natural hair, and then I add the braiding hair, y'all. So I'm just gonna continue to do this from left to right, from both sections that I parted out in half. And like I said, I'm gonna braid both into a curly shape form, y'all. Okay, Natalie, so we done made it to the other side, and like I said, I'm doing the exact same thing, doing it in a curl shape form. And I did go from left to right, just so I can make sure they was evening coming into the middle together. So this is how it's looking. And remember, we are going to be adding curly hair in the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take like 3 pieces of the hair that's already braided. And I'm just going to blend it in with section of hair in the back. And I'm just going to braid that all the way down, y'all. Now, the curly hair that I would be using is going to be some little kids extension curly hair. Now, you can use crochet hair. You don't have to use extension. And we also going to be sewing it in, y'all. So you do not have to sew it in. I know most people, when they do the Jayden Wayda, they do, do the glue in. Now, me personally, on the glue in, it's okay. That's your preference. If that's what you want to use, you can. It is quick and faster. But I prefer the sew in because it just lasts longer. Especially when it's heat, even though it's fall now. So, the glue, it's not going to matter that much, y'all. But when it's hot and in the heat, and if you're client, you do a whole lot of sweaty. And also, y'all, with my kids' client, especially my daughter Sugar, she plays rough like a boy, okay? So just doing the glue in would not work for her. She would play so much, it would come out, slide right on out. Also, like I said, you can use crochet method, which is mainly, what I would use, but I do use sew in sometimes on my client kids' hair. Because I feel like that's the most secure, y'all, because your kids go to school, they wrestle, they do this, they jump, they hop, they flip, they do this, and you just want this style to last as long as you can. They already don't have it, want to get their hair done, y'all. They scream, they holler. So this is just what I recommend. Now, I mainly do this for my kids' hair. I do recommend, my clients, their parents, I recommend this method for their child too, but sometimes they agree with it. Sometimes they be like, no, I think crochet to be good. And crochet is good. If you can get that crochet secure real good, which I can, but still, I know Sugar, y'all. I can secure crochet in real good, and some kind of way she still end up having crochet falling everywhere, y'all. So if you got a child that's rough like mine, then I would recommend sewing, and you don't have to put it in tight, but you want to make sure it's tight enough and not where it's hurting the child's head, y'all. So what I am doing right now is to sew in, and remember, you want to thread that needle. And I think I am using a curl needle. They do have straight needle if that works best for you. When I'm doing a sew in on myself, I can go faster with a straight. And when I'm doing it on the client, I can go faster with a curl shaped needle. So we're just going to add the curly. And I believe this is Kinky Curly, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just going to add that. And it is like an 8-inch. So this is a really short inch. Perfect for kids, y'all. You can even cut the whip off and just use the curly hair itself as crochet if you couldn't find the type of crochet hair that you're looking for, y'all. But you should be able to find all this at your local beauty supply store or either online. Like I said, I will try to remember to leave everything down in the description box, even the brand of this curly hair, y'all. And I will put down a recommended crochet hair that is also made by the same brand that made the little braiding hair, y'all. All right, y'all. So we are all done adding the curly hair in, y'all. So now, as you see, I'm going to use my trusty dusty, what I always use. My sheet is bomb, and we are going to slick sugar edges down, making sure everything is all neat and intact, y'all. Now, at the top of her hair, I didn't realize that didn't get recorded, y'all. I do apologize. But to prevent the track for showing, you can leave the regular hair that you braided, the front braid, you can leave that in loose like secure with rubber band. And by sugar hair being curly already, I could have left her hair out at the top, at the end of the her braids itself, and let them, hang on top of the other curls and blended them in. But what I did was I just braided everything up, and I used a crochet needle, and I just flipped some of the added curly hair over the track hair, y'all, and that will cover up the track piece. So that's all you got to do, y'all. It's not that hard to do. Just as if you was crocheting the hair in, then you would just turn around and just do the round the part where the track is showing. Just take that last piece of track you sewed at the top or glued in at the top, and you can just kind of flip it through with the crochet needle, and it will cover that up, y'all. So yeah, y'all. So we are down to the nitty gritty. I'm just still making sure those edges are looking good and intact, and just showing y'all what I mean and what the meaning of slicking edges down and not the whole your whole front line, y'all. Some of y'all be having like half of your front or your hairline just slick all down, y'all. But hey, that's your preference. That's what you call your edges, then go ahead, baby girl. But this is what I call baby edges, y'all. So yeah, y'all. So I thank y'all for tuning in, y'all. We down to the end, y'all. If you enjoy watching me showing this step-by-step video from start to finish, and if you would like more videos like this, make sure you subscribe, y'all. Make sure you got that notification turned on so you won't miss any video. Y'all already know, if you've been with me since years ago when I first started YouTube, this is what I love to do. I love to give y'all step-by-step instruction on how to do certain styles and tend to your hair, your child's hair, or your client's hair. So if you really appreciate it, y'all, then make sure you give me a thumbs up. Comment below and let me know what you think. Have you tried this style? Have you did it yourself? Have you worn this style? Your kids worn it? Let me know, y'all. And I really appreciate y'all for sticking around with me for so long. And if you're not a Natural Beauty, hit that subscribe button and become part of the Natural Beauty team. Thank y'all once again. Bye. I love y'all. Be safe. Be blessed. And I was just showing y'all real quickly that I didn't even use that much hair, y'all. Like, for real. I only use a half of a half. Okay? A half of a whole, or whatever you want to call it. But once again, thank y'all for tuning in. Bye. I love y'all. And until next time, Natural Beauty, stay safe out there. And peace. Bye, Natural Beauties.
Do